I'm based in Washington, D.C., and have been working from home during COVID-19 while doing coverage of geopolitics and the US Africa role on the globe.
We have to work from home, and most of the challenges most of the time you find out that at home you don't have the best of facilities that you would actually need as a journalist.
I work from here. I don't have an outside office. This is my home. This is my office.
The first days of the lockdown of the COVID-19, covering the news in town and in the outskirts of the city have been difficult for journalists. I was lucky enough not to have been involved in any mishaps, but I have colleagues. We have been, forced by the security forces, especially the police, who were forced to delete their footages, who were beaten, who were harassed, who were intimidated.
Covering the COVID-19 lockdown here in Zimbabwe has been a learning experience, if I might say, but I've gone through a lot of challenges. I've faced a lot of challenges going about my work. Firstly, obviously, transport has been hectic. It has been a challenge here in Zimbabwe. If you are not driving,
I use public transport, which is quite hectic since there are quite a number of people all trying to get into town at that particular time. And my residential area, which is a high density, is only served by one bus.
There are other services that you need at home, like water. You have to look for water. Then after looking for water, some of these times you find that you even struggle with the noise that is around. Especially if you are staying in a high density suburb.
What I felt when I was covering the COVID-19, and especially when I was beaten up, I was assaulted by police, I felt terrified. I received threats from the police. I received threats from soldiers. Just today I had an encounter with some soldiers who didn't want me to do my work because it would implicate them. So for me to do my work without fear or favor, it has been difficult during this period.
Because I'll be doing coverage or conducting investigative journalism, I've run into and continue to run into security hurdles. So I just wanted to stress the safety and security of journalists is extremely important. And because of the dangers and human rights violations that we constantly run into, being a journalist, you certainly need to be efficiently prepared and trained to face the dangers in the field. I think that is highly critical.
It's something which you have to live with at the end of the day. The dangers associated with state security agents, police officers, the army, the CIO. When you get to a checkpoint, you do not know whether they will allow you to pass through or not, whether they will politely tell you to go back, whether they will give you a chance to explain yourself or not. You might be forced to toy like what happened to a member much recently. You might be beaten up, you might be harassed in other ways. So at the end of the day, yes, you are afraid, but there's nothing you can do.
I've been exposed to traumatic events. I've seen people with COVID-19. I've seen people being beaten up with police. I've been beaten up. I've been detained. I was forced to delete my footage, and the day-to-day life of people here in Zimbabwe. I've documented a lot of stories on the vulnerable. those issues, you know, when you talk to those people and you get their stories. You see someone having 3 days without eating anything, and it gets to you. So, and sometimes you don't have anyone to go and say, this is what I saw in the field, and I need to talk to someone so that I can clear my head. So I can safely say that in terms of mental health, it has been a challenge.
I've never gone for any mental therapy or mental health checkup, but it is necessary, especially for journalists who are on the front line.
Some of these organizations are having their press conferences. They want us to come physical, you know, of which our safety is not guaranteed really in these COVID-19 times. So I think that there is need for us as a country to actually adapt, you know, to this online, to the use of online technology.
I don't have to worry about access to Wi-Fi. Unlike many people in Zimbabwe, that is definitely not anything that I have to worry about. It's almost automatic that I know that anytime I turn my phone on, anytime I have my laptop on, I'm automatically going to have Wi-Fi. I'm certainly grateful that I don't have to worry about that at all. At the same time, and conversely, I can certainly understand how a potential investor could become frustrated with Wi-Fi connection with Zimbabwe, because by far one of the key challenges that I faced in terms of connecting to Zimbabwe has been Wi-Fi connection.
Then the cost of data itself is becoming very, very expensive, you know, because I'm working from home. I work from this laptop, so it's like that most of the time I hotspot myself using my phone. So the cost of data is really, really expensive, such that we are finding it very difficult for us to actually cope with the modern day trends of journalism. In terms of balancing my social life, yeah, you know, sometimes you have friends. They will keep coming to see you. You have family members, they will keep coming to see you. So it's a bit difficult. But I think we need to adapt and see that times have changed, and we need to understand that working from home is now the new way. And also we need to, at least as journalists, now invest, you know, in our homes so that they become workable, you know, so that we can be able to work from home, because that is where we are going. Definitely, COVID-19 has changed the shape and culture of journalism as we knew it. Particularly for us journalists in Africa, we have to prepare for these things.
I can tell you that I've never visited a friend or family during the lockdown period. Why? Because of the difficulties that is associated with the lockdown, covering the lockdown. For example, transport, I spent 2 to 3 hours in bus queues, so I have little time to work, and also with the information that is coming and you would need to work on it. I'm exposed to COVID-19 because I work in different areas. As a photojournalist, you have to visit areas, you have to only document stories, you visit red zones. So for the safety of my friends and family, I decided not to visit them. So it has affected me, although I check up on them, I call them, but it has affected me because I sometimes feel lonely.
There is no question that the work of journalists and the work that journalists are doing is vital.
But we had a relief after the government, of course, reviewed the statutory instrument, the 83. It reviewed to exactly specify, to exactly say that all journalists are allowed to operate during the lockdown. And also we had a High Court intervention, a High Court interdict, which compelled, which given an order to the police to stop beating journalists, beating scribes, and that in that sense we had a relief.